boys and girls. Welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. Now find yourself a seat at their table.
Hey kids, I'm Mike,
I'm PJ.
and today we have another holiday episode. We're talking about our favorite Christmas movies, some of our favorites, and to help us out, we have our reoccurring classmate, my brother, Uncle Rob. Yay!
Yeah. Nice. Thank
Rob's
you.
been featured on a couple of our episodes, but I think some of the more popular ones would be Back to the Future in the 90s,
Yes.
90s band. So, Rob, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me here again. I love it. Holiday season. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, guys, we are before we get into the movies, we always start off with a childhood memory, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas gifts at any age, guys. So, PJ, want to start us off, my man?
It's more of a category of gifts.
Oh yeah.
The show was on for so long that I always got new toys, Power Ranger toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There
That's
was
on mine.
nothing better than like opening up a gift, and if it was like a Megazord.
Yes.
And because
Oh,
you
dude.
had all the regular Rangers, but they could never fight the big bad guy, because if you didn't have the Zord,
Yeah.
and those Zords were stupid expensive even back
Yeah.
then.
Right.
So when you would get like the Megazord and the Dragon Zord and all
Yeah.
that good shit, man, that was the best Christmas.
Classic.
Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Freaking Megazord.
Rob, what about you?
So I'm gonna go back, way back when I was little. So this was like one of the first battery-powered like ride-on cars that
Oh,
kids
yeah.
had.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
Power
This
Wheels.
thing was
Like a
awesome.
Power
Yeah,
Wheels,
it must have
yes.
turned into Power Wheels eventually. So yeah, this thing was awesome. It was like a little. I actually looked it up online yesterday.
Oh.
It was a 1985 Pines of America classic convertible Power Wheels toy car. I actually
shit.
found it on eBay, dude.
Oh, they are.
$275. Mike, you got to see this thing. It's in great condition. I'm actually considering
Yeah.
You
this.
should totally buy it.
Dude,
Rob,
yeah.
I have
So I used to
storage.
drive this around my. But anyway, so it was under the tree, man. Already out. My parents had it out, like all shined up. I was driving around, all across the driveway and everything. I used to like try to park it in the garage. It was just the best, man. We used it for years and years and years.
Yep.
Me and Mikey and like the neighbors and when it stopped working like with the power, we actually turned into like almost like a push cart.
Yep, we took
And
the
then we're
battery
like-
out because
yeah, exactly.
Made it even
We felt
faster.
like mechanics though as kids. Like we disconnected the battery because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And running down the sidewalk with it. We actually called him Herbie.
Yep.
And I swear, dude, we had this thing until like probably our 20s, maybe. I don't know. We couldn't get rid of it. It was my parents' garage
Yeah,
for
we
like
made a
ever. My
license
dad's
plate
like,
for it.
when are you guys gonna get rid of this thing? But it was hard, man. But yeah, we ran that thing to the
Yeah, it
end.
had like a leather
Yeah, it was like
seat.
tan and brown with like fenders over the
You
wheels.
should totally buy it.
I have a
Yeah.
picture of it right here. I want to show you guys. Yeah, look at- Well, Mike, you know what it looks like. Look at this thing.
Shit, man.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
should definitely rebuy
Stop.
it.
Yeah, 275. Yeah, man, it was awesome. So that's a standout for sure.
Yeah. To piggyback off PJ, the Power Rangers, man. I remember I got like the Thunder Zord. That's like second season,
Yep.
Generation 2. But it's crazy because my birthday's in September, so I got like PJ. You'll know this. So like, I'm not sure if the original Megazord came with all 5 Zords, but Thunder Zord, you got the 4, and then you got the Red Dragon Zord was separate.
Yes.
So for my birthday, I got the 4, but I couldn't make Megazord
'Cause you didn't have the Red
Thunder,
Dragon,
I couldn't
right.
make Thunder Megazord.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
could only hang out with those cats.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for Christmas, I got the whole shebang. Santa helped hook me up. I got Red Dragon, Thunder Zord. I got the White Tiger.
The White Tiger Zord
I got
was
Tor
great.
the Shuttle Zord.
Yes.
So I had the whole.
Oh, I remember.
Tor.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You know which one I actually didn't have? Well, to this day, I've never received it, and it's a gaping hole in my heart. Was the Green Ranger with the Dragon Zord?
Yeah, me
Wow.
either.
Never got
my
that
wife
one.
just got me like 2 years ago. I never actually had the OG Megazord. She
Right.
got me that, but I never had Dragon Zord.
No, I never had that. I had the White Ranger with the Tiger Zord. I had the Falcon Zord when the movie came out, but I never got the Green Ranger with the Dragon
So
Zord.
there you go. You hear it, everybody. If you want to get this guy something nice
Yeah.
for Christmas, do it
Yeah,
up.
and again, what was it, Ultra Zord? It was like almost
Yes.
like a dinosaur looking
Yep.
thing, like a long neck. But my other quick favorites was like I got a Nintendo 64. That was amazing. I got a PS2. PlayStation 2 is my favorite video game system of all time. I remember PJ actually had his birthday's in November,
Right.
Yep.
so he got Grand Theft Auto 3. I
Oh.
remember I played at his house
That's
for the
huge.
first time, and I was like mind blown
Yep.
with that game.
We played that game for hours.
Yes,
we
and-
killed so many
Yeah,
prostitutes in that game.
and I remember I got that game for Christmas too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
In that batch, and I remember just getting like other just quick toys like the Batcave, Darkwing Duck toys, X-Men. You
Yep.
know?
I always love getting action figures.
Oh,
and
hell
toys. I
yeah.
still do to this day.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's nothing better than an action figure.
Mm-hmm.
The Batcave, like the one where you could put Bruce Wayne in it and then you spin it.
Yeah,
Yes,
besides
yeah.
That's the
Batman.
one I got.
Yeah,
I-
that thing is a
I
classic.
love that thing.
The
I still got
Batmobile with the
mine.
missiles that shoot out the front.
Yeah.
Oh man, God.
Yeah, I had
And the
Batman.
Batcave, the Batmobile, you push the button and the sides popped up, and then it's just like the one long missile.
All right. Oh, damn.
Nice.
Yes.
I also had my 20-inch bike. Remember the Huffy I had?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
black and red, dude. I actually called it Kit 2000. You ever see the movie with Knight Rider?
Yeah.
And the red car was Kit,
Yeah.
so I called him Kit 2000. Yeah, it had like headlights and like backlight on it. My
Yeah.
dad put on like this thing where it had like a machine gun sound, missile sound,
Yeah.
and it kind of had a light going across. Like
Yeah.
I felt it was going like shoom, 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 shoom. Yeah. So that was definitely a standout. Probably for me as I got a little bit older. I mean, this is by 5th grade, but my drum set. That was huge. Yeah. So like the Santa thing was done, but because I remember my parents were like, you know, what kind of drum set do you want? I really didn't know much at that point of like brands.
Right.
So I just said I need a Tama because of Dave Grohl from Nirvana. That's all you would always see on his drum
Oh,
head.
wow.
You know, at that time, all of a sudden you just had your drum head
Right.
with the brand. So like I
Holy
kept seeing
shit.
Tama, and watching all those videos. I'm like, yeah, let me get a Tama. And that's how that whole thing started. And I still
Wow.
play it. I still have it. And that thing's there from 5th grade. Yeah, that
Yeah.
thing's a beast.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
A lot of good gigs. Yeah, those are top for me.
Yeah.
And obviously
I
all the
guess my
toys.
guitars, too. I was
Yeah,
thinking-
yeah.
But yeah.
But and with the toys, me and Mike, a lot of times we kind of got double bagged because if we needed something for the turtles, say I might have got a figure and then he's
Right.
getting the other figure, so we
Yeah.
can complete like a collection sometimes faster because they're
Right,
both
right.
asking for the same
Shit, yeah.
turtles or Batman and shit like that. So and then with the Power Rangers, I got a little bit older at that point, but I used to just actually enjoy watching Mikey play with the toys. He'd be like an army of stuff, and it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like watching an episode of like Power Rangers. I sit there with my fruit stacks, like, oh yeah, this is great, this is great.
episode.
And I'd be like, Mike, so how does this work? And then he tells me about this. You know, put this with that, and like he can't build that because he doesn't have this.
Yeah.
But with the Megazord and the
Yeah.
what you guys are describing, but yeah, it's good stuff, man.
So
yeah,
okay,
toys.
a quick question for you guys. I know we talked about this on one of our previous episodes, but one of the things I can't stand is work parties, especially the Secret Santa stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You always get roped into it.
Yo,
You
no
can't
choice.
be the one person that doesn't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, look, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I hook people up. Okay.
Yes.
And I feel like, look, I guess
You
I
get the
I'm
short
being-
end of the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost time someone got me like Dollar Tree cups. Like, what the
yeah,
fuck is that?
baby.
You know, I'm getting someone else. It's because the person unless it happens usually it's randomly who you get assigned
Yeah.
to.
Right.
But I never. I don't. Oh man, it's so frustrating.
Or like, do you ever feel like this is so bad, but you get someone that not that you don't like, but like you don't know that well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like shit.
You don't know where to start. You're like,
Yeah,
when am I gonna
oh,
get
and
this?
you wish
guy?
you had like Time of the Green Ranger, or whatever. You wish you had someone you knew about.
Right,
you know, like
yeah,
from your
yeah.
from your job. You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
helps.
Sometimes they do this thing where you fill out an index card with like 3 of your favorite like hobbies and stuff.
That helps.
And
Yeah,
then
that's true.
Then you like, all right, you get that, and then you know like a direction.
Yep.
Right.
Unless they pick something super weird. I did this one time. This is a work thing. This wasn't
Right.
outside of work. It was just to be like, friendly at work.
Yeah.
And the index card was like, I like alcohol.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm like, well, that's lovely. However, I don't think I can bring in a keg
Right.
to our
Yeah.
office
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Right.
So
They probably wouldn't mind.
yeah,
from what it sounds like, yeah.
I'm like, what am I gonna like? That doesn't help me pick out a gift for you.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's when everyone's getting like a Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
what to get.
Well, gift cards helped a lot with
Yes.
giving in general. That's definitely
Yeah.
an easy go-to these days.
Right.
That is true.
And before we get to the movies, I want to see if you guys have ever encountered this. So I don't know what it's called, but it's like maybe it's like almost like a white elephant kind of thing, where it's like you get a gift that you don't want.
And then
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you can like switch it out with someone else's.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
steal.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But there's another thing where someone like they give you like a platter, and then you hold it on, and then you give it to somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what the term is.
Platter. Like
you get
a
like
food?
this you get like a cookie, like it's just a tray. That's the thing. It's like you're supposed to
Right.
put food on it, and then you give. Let's say, I make you a batch of cookies.
Okay.
Right. But then you have to take that tray that it's on.
And then I had to make
Give-
cookies and give it to somebody
or give
else.
maybe give someone a turkey on it. You give it to
Right.
them. But you're basically carrying around this
Trey?
well, you're giving it away. It's
Right.
like, that's the whole thing. Is this tray thing? It's supposed to has like something written on it, like "Thank you for coming." I don't know. Like
It's-
great gratitude.
Right.
But I remember mom and dad got the dad put it in the recycling.
That's the best place to put it, probably. You're still helping the planet by getting rid of
I'm
it.
not getting involved with this.
I can
like
see
a
that.
chain letter.
Yes. it's
yeah,
like-
yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
yes,
Chain
PJ.
letter.
The gift that just won't go
That's-
away.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god.
I've never heard of that,
No,
but
man,
I would
I don't
not
remember that.
participate.
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
only
thank
happened
you
a
for
few
these
years
cookies.
ago,
It ends
man.
here.
Because my mom was like, Dad, we gotta.
Like, Barbara, what is it? What
Right.
is recycling bin? I don't want this shit here.
I don't
What do I do with this
It
shit?
says like people don't want this junk.
Yeah. This is someone else's shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh my God.
Oh God.
But moving along on the holiday spirit, on this Holiday Express, we're gonna talk about our favorite movies for Christmas movies, okay? And then we're gonna do a little lightning round. We're just gonna ramble off some of our faves that we're not gonna get too deep into. But I'm sure we're gonna have some duplicates, so we'll talk about them. That's okay. But Uncle Rob, you wanna kind of start us off?
Yeah, I'm gonna be saving one, but I'm gonna start with this one. For me now, it's the Polar Express,
Oh, that's a great
2004.
choice.
That's the Tom Hanks one.
Yes.
Oh, great choice.
You know what's funny? I first saw this actually at the IMAX. Couldn't think of it.
Yep.
In Manhattan with my family on Christmas Eve. It
Yep.
was awesome. But I mean, I don't know. It brings it back to being a kid. That whole idea of the train pulling in like on your block.
Oh,
Where you
yeah.
live. Just not believing anymore.
Oh yeah.
I just think the scenes are cool. The music is cool. It's kind of like a cool mystique to it. I think that even as an adult, I like it because I'm trying to bring myself back to being a kid,
Yeah.
especially during this time of year. So just watching it and like saying to myself, do I still hear the bell?
Yeah, yeah.
That whole idea I think was just awesome. That whole concept at the end, like,
Yeah.
and the parents
Oh yeah.
when it's talking about it at the end, like, and the father's like, oh, look at that, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's like kind of sad that the father no longer hears the bell. But Santa was kind of like mysterious in that movie too, and I love that. The elves are kind of like a little like an asshole tone to them. You know what I mean? At times I'm like, I kind of hate these guys. And then Steven Tyler making an appearance at the end as an elf. So I kind of love that. I mean, if you have a good sound system at home, that's a great movie to kind of play loud.
Yes.
Um,
I was just about to say the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You got Josh Groban.
Yes.
Just even though I think they play a Sinatra song at one point.
Yep.
The Alan Silvestri.
Oh,
Robert
yeah.
Zemeckis directed that.
Yes, I was gonna. Yeah, you're right on.
So,
You're nailing it. Yep.
Tom Hanks. They whatever they did some kind of what do they call that? They put all the dots. I don't know, whatever they
Yeah,
CGI
like
track
CGI.
thing.
Yeah, no, he was
Whatever they
excellent in
did,
it.
yeah.
Yep. That one kid was kind of annoying, but he kind of like going away. Yeah, he's like the scientific type kid. But yeah, again, it's one of those things that gets you back in the feels, And like when I feel like I'm like losing spirit, I put that
Yeah, it's
on,
a
and like
great
you
film.
feel like it's coming back.
Yeah, that's a great one. Oh, damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love that one.
Mr. PJ, what about you?
So one of my favorite Christmas movies is Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Which is probably not the standard pick that everyone will go with, but I love Bill Murray. I think he's one of the best
Yeah, he's
actors
awesome.
of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I think he's one of the funniest actors of all time.
Mhm.
And I like the story of Scrooge, the whole, just in general, right? A Christmas Carol in general. But to take it and make it a comedy with Bill Murray, I think it worked. I watch it every year.
Right.
And so I picked that one. I just think
I gotta
it's-
watch it. I don't know if
I
I've
haven't.
seen
I've
it.
seen it once.
I'm not
I
gonna
have-
lie right now. I don't
really
think I've
know
ever
that
seen
one.
it.
He's like an executive,
Yes.
and he's like a shady or a shitty kind of TV executive, and then he gets visited by the ghost, and it's just very funny. And I picked that one just because I watch it every year. I love Bill Murray.
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
That's an
for
awesome
it.
one.
Yeah.
It's making me want to check it out. Actually.
Well, PJ, I'm gonna pick you up back off that, as I always say. I want to talk about Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh,
Yes.
you
Oh,
bastard!
that's okay.
That's on
No,
my
I'm
list.
gonna
No, it's
talk
okay.
about
No,
it.
that's great. That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's obviously Charles Dickens.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Mickey's Christmas Carol is the best Christmas Carol I've
It's a
ever
good
Oh
seen.
man, yeah.
It's
It is
so
a really good one.
I know. I think now supposedly on like Disney Plus they like edit it, like the scary parts of it. It's
Probably.
like what? But that if you can, if you have a physical copy of it, it's not edited. Watch that. Preserve it, please.
Exactly, man. Put it in a time
but
capsule.
everything about it is so good. It's so. First of all, there's so many great lines in it.
Yes.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Yep.
Oh my god, just the animation is like that classic.
It's the
hand
classic
dra-
Disney animation.
Yep, it's
not.
so good.
It's not a CGI. It's not overly done. It's just classic, clean,
Yeah.
old school cartoon animation.
Yeah, and all the characters they picked to be the characters from the book are perfect.
Yep.
Mickey Mouse is Cratchit.
Yep.
Goofy.
Yep, Goofy's old man
he's huge in it.
Marley.
Yes.
right? Marley.
Yeah.
You know?
Jiminy Cricket's in there.
Yep.
Yep.
They have. He's like a giant from. I'm not sure which Disney movie he's from, but he
Yeah.
plays the ghost of Christmas. I think present or past. No, he's Christmas present. I think. And anyway, he like has this really funny thing where like he like
Yeah. You're right.
Uncle Scrooge wakes up and it's like all this food and he's like trying to explain the food. He's trying to say pistachio, but he's like Mr. Spitio, and then he just gives up. He's like,
With yogurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Me and Mike have been quoting this thing our whole
Yeah,
lives, also.
But there's so many good lines. I cannot recommend this movie enough. It's short. It's only about maybe 40 minutes, maybe 45, maybe maybe even less.
Yeah, it's not a long one.
But it's
Wait,
so
I
good.
get-
Mickey
It's
ones
just,
aren't.
And I gotta add on to that. Yeah.
But that movie is an absolute banger, man. It's so good. And it's for adult. You're gonna
It's
really
for
enjoy
everyone.
it. It's funny.
Yeah, dude, no, I agree. And I actually wrote down two of the quotes that I love. So, like, Marley, he called Ebenezer. And then you gotta listen to this. He goes, "Remember when I was alive, I robbed from the widows and swindled the poor?" And then Scrooge says, "Yes, all in the same day." And you had class, Jacob. And then, and then he goes, "No, I was wrong." And he goes, "I was punished. I'm forced to carry these heavy chains for eternity, maybe even longer." And it's great. And then there's another line I love. Oh, when the two guys come to the house,
for money,
they're
right?
asking for money.
Yeah.
And then what did he say? Where is it? Okay, he goes, "If I give you money, then the poor won't be poor anymore, and you'll be out of a job. So I can't do that." I just think those are classic and
Oh, yeah.
smart. They're like
Yes.
smart lines. I feel like people you got to listen and catch those.
Yeah.
Those are great lines.
Such a good one. Rob, what's next on your list?
Yep. So I'm gonna go with this was gonna happen eventually. Home Alone.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1990 classic. So we have plenty to say here. I mean, I think the movie's just perfect. I remember seeing it actually in like this really small theater here where we grew up on Christmas
Yep.
or Christmas Eve, I should say. It just puts me in the mood every time. I can watch it over and over. I'll watch it in the middle of July if it's on. Obviously, the storyline, the humor, the action, the theming. And then growing up, I was around his age. Kevin McAllister. So you can kind of really relate. And then during that time, you had you always wanted to make a booby trap at home. I feel like even at home with Mikey, I would do put a stuffed animal at the top of the door. He opens it and full. You just like doing that stuff.
Right.
So that idea of him fighting back and creating things blueprinting something on oak tag.
Yeah.
That whole idea. But I love Christmas. The music is amazing.
Oh.
It's got family, emotion, the whole thing. What's funny is I always got annoyed with Old Man Marley.
Right.
No, I like him as a character, but I'm just trying to say, if I was like Kevin, when he sees him in the church, I was trying to be you couldn't have just said hello.
Yeah, or
if I
wave.
saw you on the street, you gotta stare at me like that, like a freaking psycho.
Yeah.
Or that moment in the convenience store when he's getting the toothbrush or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I want to
yeah.
be like, dude, did you have to slam your barfy ass bandage hand on the glass? Remember that? He
Yeah.
slams it down,
Yeah.
staring the cab at him. I want to be like, dude, you made me a criminal. Remember that? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, come on already. But
Yeah. I always like
I know
Kevin's,
it's part of the.
I always like Kevin's scream when he sees Old Man Marley in the store. He's like,
Yeah,
It's
and in the
perfect.
street too, it's always the same kind of scream.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, obviously that movie's just so perfect, and we
Yeah.
quote that our entire
Oh
life. Who
my
doesn't
God.
quote that?
Yeah.
Crowbars up,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
And what makes the movie so good? It's almost like the first 3/4 of the film is this down to like a down to earth, he's trying to survive on his own. It's funny. I mean, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are awesome in it.
Yep.
I mean, they felt like a real threat too in the film.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Or even though at the end, where that's what I'm saying, where it becomes almost like this Three Stooges type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, a little
You know,
slapstick.
but you still felt they were in. It didn't turn to now the crazy Stooges, not two. I'm talking about the ones that.
The ones without
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. I
Yeah.
don't watch
Yeah, they
it.
kept it believable somehow.
Yes, exactly.
Serious.
Yeah,
You were
exactly.
scared a little bit. There was
Yeah.
suspense in it.
Yeah, because remember
Yeah.
at one point when he in the first one, remember he catches him, he's like, "I'm gonna bite every finger."
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, he's actually gonna.
Yeah.
Movie's getting twisted now.
Yep. And supposedly, actually, what's his face has a scar on his finger from that. You
Oh, I
ever
think-
hear about
yeah,
that?
yes.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Why am I
yeah.
drawing a blank? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
It's so good, man. That movie's like John Williams soundtrack. The
Oh god,
Oh,
it's perfect.
it's
I mean,
great.
how many times have you said, look what you did, you little jerk? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like all those great lines,
it's timeless.
It
Yeah.
really is. Both of them are. The second one.
Yeah,
too, is
yeah,
awesome.
amazing.
Yep. I always laugh in the second one. Remember, they're at the ice skating rink, and this kid's skating, and then Daniel's, was it Marv? Right?
Yeah, I know.
He steals
Yeah,
the kid's hat and gloves.
They're the Sticky Bandits.
Yeah.
They became the Sticky Bandits.
Yeah.
He dips his hand into Salvation.
Yeah. Well, there's your Salvation Army, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, they're
But I guess my question to you guys: do you guys prefer one or two?
oof.
You know.
I
I
prefer
know.
two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna
I
go
used to
one.
prefer
I'm
two,
still
but
gonna
now
go
I
one.
Now I prefer one.
Yeah, I love two. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's very hard. I love
Yeah.
Manhattan, like I said, and I love going to Manhattan during Christmas. But
Right.
I don't know. One still has
I
it.
think
a little bit
I
of an
think
edge.
I picked two for that reason. I like
Mm.
the New York City setting for a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
And just another quick scene I love in 2 is like, remember where they locked themselves inside Duncan's toy chest?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And then like after it's closed, they stick their heads out of like that gingerbread house.
Yeah. The way they do it is
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
It's so good.
No, they were excellent with their physical comedy and like mannerisms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Mhm.
That could be a
PJ
whole episode in itself.
There are so many to choose from.
Mm.
But I watch them every year. I'm gonna just call them all one, even though there's several movies. All the Rankin Bass ones,
Yeah.
where you have like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Santa Claus is coming to town, where it's the
Yep.
stop motion.
Yep.
I mean, you could watch those forever and never get old of them.
Yeah.
Rudolph is great. I mean,
Yes.
that's Burl Ives is the
Yeah.
Yeah.
The snowman.
snowman.
Mhm.
But even like Santa Claus is coming to town, when he's like the little redheaded kid and he gets older and becomes
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
of them. Those have like such a nostalgic feeling to them when you watch them. It instantly brings you back to being a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just like Yukon Cornelius when he's
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that guy.
yeah.
Mhm.
He's always looking
When
for silver.
ho-
I guess
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was about to say. I
Yeah.
wrote it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are.
Oh.
I mean, I could watch them. I do watch them every year. They're
Mhm.
fun. They're well written. It's another thing where it's for kids, but anyone can enjoy that. It's not overly childish.
Yes.
Where an adult can't watch that. It's kind of sad too, with like the I Own the Misfit toys and how
Yep.
they all get thrown away.
Yeah. But I love those guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they're really
they were
cool,
funny,
actually.
man.
They were
Yeah.
great.
You would want them actually.
And like,
I,
I
know,
like,
I would want them.
Yeah,
right, and
yeah.
like it's like it makes sense why Rudolph would want to go there because he
Right.
feels like a misfit.
Of
And
course.
then, I
Mhm.
can't think of the elf's name. He wants to be
Hermie?
a dent. Yeah, Hermie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to be.
I want to be a dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who ever heard of an elf that wants to be a dentist?
Yeah.
The angry elf, the
Yeah.
boss elf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, freaking dickhead. Yeah, totally. I always thought that movie was kind of long though
did
when I was a
felt
kid. I would
long.
like sometimes fall asleep. Rudolph, I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it could be a little bit.
It felt very
longer,
at one
but
point, but I love it.
Yeah.
But at the end, I would like fall asleep for some
Yeah.
reason.
I never understood. I get that he had a glowing red nose,
Yeah,
but to this day, I don't understand how
It works.
How it works. Why does he have a glowing red nose?
I know.
Yeah.
There's no logic.
And in that, it was like
aside
really
from
like a light bulb. Like,
It was like a light-
beep,
exactly.
beep.
I think
It's like
he thought
okay, would you
it.
steal it from
I-
Micah?
To this day, I don't understand why his nose was like that. They
That's a
don't
great
explain
question.
It just
We gotta
Maybe
Google
maybe
it. I don't
he
know.
was like maybe he had like a cold and got red because he got blown in his nose, or maybe like he had
I
like
don't
a
know.
horn, like an antler that came out of his nose. It was like red. I don't know. Like an
Maybe.
infection.
Could be anything.
it could be. And it was just always weird the way they did it, and then they cover it up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Like, I don't know what they put over his nose to cover it up. I just
It's
remember.
like it was like
It was like,
It was like
almost
mud.
like mud.
Mud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
but
a
then it
hoof.
changed his entire voice as if
Yeah.
someone was
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
his nose.
oh
the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
Very
like that.
easily.
Mhm.
Actually, right at that scene, what's his face says like an asshole line. He goes like,
Oh.
"From now on, Rudolph can't play in any more reindeer games."
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, what an asshole!
Yeah.
I used to,
Yeah.
I hated that. I think it
Yo.
was Prancer or somebody.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, no, who was like? This is gonna sound weird. Yo, Clarice was hot.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But isn't it amazing how that's able to be done? Like even cartoons. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to go off
know.
right now, but like even like with her, you could tell like
Yeah.
yo, it's like you have the hots for her.
yeah.
You know what Rudolph. I get it. you
I
know?
also like when was it Yukon Cornelius? We used to throw his pickaxe and
Pickaxe.
then he would lick it.
He
He
would
would
lick
like,
it.
You know what I
Ah,
mean? Like,
nothing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
Mhm. And just the other one you're talking about was like Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah.
Like the villain was like Burgermeister. It was like
yeah.
it was like some kind of play off
Mhm.
of that. Yeah, those are great. Those are classics. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'll go with another classic. So I think Rob probably has this on his list.
Oh, here we go.
So it was 1974's "Twas the Night Before
Yep.
Christmas."
Yep.
So this is that one where someone basically, it's about these like mice who like live in the same house as like this family. And, like someone, I think the mouse, one of the son, he writes a letter to Santa, like an anonymous letter, saying that he's like fake, he's a phony, whatever. And like then Santa, I don't know how he even tells the town, but he's like, yo, I ain't coming to your town.
Yeah.
So, like, yo, like he like feels turned off. So the town decides to like build a clock to like honor him, so he would get there. But it's so good. The music's good. There's one part of the movie where he like, I guess maybe they were like taking acid. All of a sudden he like turns into a leprechaun and everything. It was,
yeah.
like,
You kind of trip
you know,
out a little bit.
Yeah, it was like getting crazy, but like it's so good, and it's like I still use one of the lines all the time.
Oh, we use a lot of
when
the lines.
something breaks, the guy goes, "Did it go kerplunk?" He's like, "Yeah, kerpluit." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I use that all the time.
Because that same like mean mouse breaks the clock.
Yes,
Because he wants to see how it works. He's a smart mouse actually. Then he goes in on like Christmas Eve to fix it, and he fixes it in time, and it plays this really awesome song actually. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
But and then Santa
Like,
Comes.
like,
Yeah.
Christmas, Christmas.
Everybody comes, Santa, Santa. Come on, old Kris Kringle,
Oh,
down the
wow,
Milky
you know
Way.
that
Yeah.
already.
Oh,
I watch it
wow.
every year. It's hard to find though.
Yeah.
I have to like YouTube that.
Mhm.
Oh, but I love that movie. Oh hell yeah, it's perfect. I was gonna say something about that, but yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Mhm.
movie. Am I up?
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with well, PJ kind of mentioned it, but in a way, Frosty the Snowman, 1969.
Yep.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's just a great like, childhood memory. I've seen it a bazillion times. It's an easy story. I feel like it's not too long. The
Nope.
parts are fun.
Mhm.
I feel like it's another movie I quote a lot all year round, kind of.
Mhm.
It gets me in the feels. When Frosty melts,
Right.
it's kind of like heartbreaking. You know, I
Yes.
feel like even now I get a little tight in the throat. You know what I mean? And then Santa shows up and he says, this is like Christmas snow. He opens the door and he shows
Yeah,
up
yeah.
again. That magician character.
I love that guy.
You know, I mean, Mikey say this all the time.
Mhm.
I want that hat and I want it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And happy birthday. That
Yeah.
whole thing is just
I love that
iconic.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
funny. Mhm.
And you can use some of this stuff in conversation, but yeah, it's awesome. I love that movie. I still watch it every year.
And also like how it's narrated by Jimmy Durante. He's got that
Oh
voice
yeah,
like welcome to Christmas time with
Yeah,
Frosty
yeah.
the Snowman. You know, and
Nice.
like
yeah.
you know, like and a Merry Christmas. So it makes you like feel even more
Yeah.
jolly.
Yeah.
You know?
Like warm and fuzzy inside.
And when he sings the song, it's great, you know.
oh, he's
like,
excellent.
It's so good. Yeah, what was it? What was the name of the name of the rabbit? What was it? Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Oh
right?
yeah, how did I
And then,
forget him, dude?
And the girl's name, what was her name? Alice or something like that?
Kimberly?
I think
It's
I think-
Kimberly. Oh, Karen. It's Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then like they're freezing their butts off on the train,
Yeah.
and we still use this like when me and Mike are freezing outside. We'll be like, "It's cold," and we're like, "It's cold, just a little,"
Yeah.
because she's like freezing her butt off in like the
Mhm.
cake, frozen treat
Yeah,
car.
yeah, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
it's a refrigerated boxcar.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Good one. Mr. PJ, what do you got on yours?
Well, it's funny because I have this on my list as my favorite version of a Christmas Carol, not counting Scrooged, is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Like I said, in general, I love the story of a Christmas Carol, which is
Yep.
why I have two of them on here.
Mm-hmm.
But I love me some Muppets.
Yes, of
And-
course.
I like that Mr. Fezziwig was Mr. Fozziwig.
Right,
Mr.
right.
Fozzie.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
That was always pretty funny. I think they should use Muppets more. But the thing with the Muppets is just that those characters, even when they play a different character, they keep the personality of the Muppets and all. So just to have like Statler and Waldorf are in there, is like Bob Marley. I think one of them is.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And Gonzo is Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it's funny to watch Muppets
It's
in these
great
roles.
casting.
It's great
Yeah,
casting.
yeah,
so
yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
It
You
really
feel
is.
that-
You could
feel
tell
that-
they're
It's
putting some
just
thought
like
into it
yeah,
too.
it's
Yeah.
just like the Disney one where they have the characters,
Yeah.
but they pick the right ones for the right job, and they did that with the Muppet one also. I just think it's very funny.
I think Michael Caine's in that, right?
Yeah, I think Michael Caine is in that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think does he play Ebenezer Scrooge? I think he
Yes.
plays Scrooge in that. Yeah.
And he plays that role like straight.
Yep.
Like he didn't
Mm.
just because there's Muppets in there. he
That's the
wouldn't act
thing.
nuts.
That's
He
when the
plays it
Muppet
straight.
movies are good, when they don't acknowledge that they're acting alongside a Muppet. They're just another part of the cast,
Yeah.
and he does a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's really funny. So
Yeah.
The Muppets are just amazing. They're
Uh,
so
they are.
believable.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like they really exist. You know what I mean? The way they do that with real life action is awesome.
Yeah. Very magical for
Yep.
sure.
Yes.
yeah.
So guys, I'm actually gonna go some new age stuff, some more today's type films.
Ooh.
If it's okay, I'm just gonna ramble off
Yeah.
3, if that's okay. Not super. So these, I don't think these are classics, but I think they're definitely worth watching. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is called The Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
Yeah. With
That's
oh, God.
Christmas Chronicles. Is it
Jesus.
Kurt Russell?
Yes,
Yes.
thank
yeah.
you. I was drawing a
Yeah,
blank.
that was
yeah.
excellent. Yep.
The first one, it's on Netflix. It's great. Basically, just to give folks who haven't seen it yet, basically the story is it's like a brother and sister, and the sister they're a little bit older now, and their mom goes out to work just to work Christmas Eve, so they decide to like set up a camera to see if Santa is gonna come, and the older brother's kind of just playing along with his sister. His sister still believes. Anyway, they catch Santa on camera, and they sneak into his sleigh, and
Yep.
it turns into this whole thing, and he's great. I think Kurt Russell plays a great Santa Claus,
Mhm.
and it's a fun film. It really is solid. And they have a second one, and what I like about the second one, the first one's better, no doubt. But But what I like about the second one is it's just not a repeat of the first one.
Right.
It actually takes place at the North Pole. They're actually battling like an evil, like basically an elf that turns like rogue, and he wants revenge on Santa. But it's a lot of fun. Like they're both really solid films.
I haven't seen the second one. I gotta check that
It's
out.
cute. It's cool.
Mhm.
The second film I want to talk about came out last year. It's called Violent Night.
Yes, I was going to talk about that. I
Oh,
love Violent Night.
Okay. Well, Peter, you talk about it. Talk about it,
Well,
man.
what I liked about it
Mhm.
is one. The guy who plays Santa is what the hell is his name? Harbor.
Yep.
David Harbor.
Yep.
He was great in that role as like a.
Yep.
It's just like a Viking who becomes Santa. I like that there's so much mystery because they can make more movies
Yeah.
and keep fleshing out the history of why he is
Yep.
Santa and where he comes from. I think that's great that they left mystery in it.
Mhm.
Everyone calls Die Hard a Christmas movie,
Yep.
and I do too. But it's this
Yeah.
took
I do too,
the
yeah.
idea of Die Hard as a Christmas movie,
Right.
and made it into an actual Christmas movie.
Yep.
And I just thought it was well acted. I thought the story, look, it wasn't like the deepest movie, but it was fun. It was
Right.
engaging. It
Right.
was not a long movie.
Nope.
You could watch it in one sitting. There's
Yeah.
action. There's funny parts.
Yeah.
It was really well done for
Yeah.
that kind of movie. It could have been very cheesy or hokey,
Right.
but it wasn't. It was just
Yeah.
really good.
And I think David Harbour he keeps the movie, even though like it has like some of it cartoonish action in it,
Right.
but even though it's very violent at points, kind of like almost like a John Wick Christmas.
Yeah,
you know?
it kind of is like a John
But,
Wick Christmas. Yeah.
But he plays like this because in the beginning, kind of starts with him like kind of like this down and out Santa who's like at a bar. You
Right.
think he's like
Like a
you know,
mall Santa or
yeah.
some shit.
Right,
and
right,
he's just
right.
disgusted. He talks about like, oh, kids don't even want toys anymore. I'm just handing out basically DVD cases,
Right.
Right.
video game cases, or gift
Yeah,
cards.
yeah,
It's
of
funny.
course. Yeah.
So he's like really like this, and when he gets to this one house where the house gets taken over, they become hostages of the family, like a real well-to-do family. He's like eating like cookies. And he's like
Yeah.
having like a spiked eggnog,
Yeah.
like
Right,
he's like on
right.
his break. And then anyway, then he has to help the family,
Right.
You know, and
Because there's like a kid in there and he wants to help the kid or
yes,
whatever.
yeah.
I
But
gotta
it's a
put this
really
on the
fun-
list. This
It's
sounds
a great film.
It's a really good movie. It has like the Christmas spirit to
Yes.
it,
Right.
but it also it's violent. It's called Violent Night.
Yeah.
It has that Die Hard feeling where it's like
Mhm.
he's in the like hiding from the bad guys but fighting the bad guys the same way
Yeah.
John McClane does.
Yeah.
Very much like a John Wick, like you said, because there's
Yep.
all that violence and all that fighting, and it's just over the top. But it really keeps the Christmas spirit in it the whole
Yeah.
time. It's
and it
really
feels
well
really
done.
grounded. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
ending's
really
great. I
well
don't want to
done.
spoil.
And
the
this came out
ending's great.
when?
I think last year.
A couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, maybe-
20,
well,
maybe you're right. Maybe that was 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so I would definitely recommend this film. That's
Yeah.
really good. And one more, then we'll get to Rob. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good.
Is the other one from Current Time? I know I made Rob watch this. He didn't love it. I think it's great. Not a perfect film. It's another kind of, I guess, a horror film. It's Krampus.
I wrote it down actually
Krampus.
as an add-on. Yeah, I
Oh,
changed.
as an
So
add-on.
I changed with that
So
movie. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
like this movie a lot. I think, look, definitely not perfect. It could have been 100% better. You know,
Yeah.
but I think it's solid. I think it's for if you're looking to watch a movie while you're like maybe putting up your Christmas tree, like you don't need all your attention to it.
Right.
You know, you want to watch it maybe making ramen noodles or having hot cocoa. You know, something. You know, I think it's worth it. You know, it's funny.
But it's about what happens when you don't believe, right?
Yes,
And
yeah, right. Or you're
I
being
saw
a bad,
it once.
or like you're like a bad like you.
Right,
like
so
you're-
I like that idea, like getting on
Yeah.
the kids who don't believe anymore.
Yeah.
So I do like the premise. I remember the ending though. I didn't love something with the ending.
Right.
It was like short or kind of like
Well, the
not
ending was
so
like
climactic, maybe.
Well, I don't, should we? I mean, we'll just.
Right.
Well, so
disclaimer.
light spoil. So like, they basically like imprison them like in a snow globe. You know, at the end. I don't
Yeah.
think you needed that. I guess they wanted to do.
That's.
One
I think
last
that's where it
twist.
kind of.
But like, this one part, like I loved that was hilarious towards the end. Like it was.
No, there was
nice
a lot of
little
great
twist.
moments, and I put
And
it
I
down
love,
as an
and
add-on.
I love all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
costumes of like the
Yep,
of the
yep.
Krampus and like mood. It's
No, it was
it's a solid
creepy. It
film.
was very much
yeah,
a cool
it's
movie to
good.
see. Everyone's
Yep.
got to see it at least once
Yeah.
and give it a.
But I can see
your
it
own
getting
review.
remade,
Yeah.
and someone giving it a little bit more oomphed. But yeah. So anyway.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm
Uh,
gonna
Ro-
take us back more like not so violent. But I like those. Actually, the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
great
I
choice.
love that movie.
Great
Yeah, I've watched it a
choice.
bunch
Great
of times. I
choice.
love the
Oh.
idea behind it.
Yeah.
You know, it also makes believe in Santa. The whole premise on his roof, he falls off. Whatever, he dies. Someone's got to take
Yep.
over. He's like the chosen
Yep.
one kind of thing. You know, he's going through like the procedure of kind of turning into Santa,
Yeah.
you know, and like his hate for it, but then he's kind of like loving the idea, and he falls in love with it obviously at
Yeah.
the end, and the kid has to adjust, and the
Yeah. Well,
it's
this is a
so
fantastic
good,
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like going to his workshop and everything was cool. The way they
Yeah.
did that was believable,
Mhm.
and Yeah, again, family movie, nice dialogue, good acting.
Yep.
Again, believable. Tim Allen, I love anyway.
Yep.
He's
Um,
great.
His delivery and everything he does is spot on usually.
I
Yeah,
had that on my list too. I
Nice.
Think that's I like the whole franchise. The first one and the second one
yeah.
were good. The third one got a
Just
little
faded.
sketchy.
Right. Mhm.
But I don't know if you've watched the TV show on Disney Plus.
I was gonna ask you about it because I'm terrible with TV shows. I don't really watch any
I
TV
actually
shows.
liked it. I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of the second season now. I haven't finished that yet.
Mhm.
But the first season is, and I love how they keep the theme through each movie. There's a new clause. So
Yes.
the first one was the Santa Claus. If you kill Santa, he becomes Santa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I think the second one was the Mrs. Claus, where you have, or was the third one the Mrs. Claus? Whatever
Something
it
like
was.
that. Yeah.
Where he has a certain amount of time where he has to find a
Yes,
wife.
that's
Right.
it.
And
That's
then
it.
then there
Yeah,
was like another one which is like an escape clause or some shit.
Right.
But then the third one wasn't so great. But then the TV show is that there's a retirement clause where if Santa's going to retire, he has to name a replacement.
Okay.
Ah.
So he wants to. Cal Penn, I think, is the person he was going to name as a replacement. And it starts off where you like. He's like a really good guy. He's a good father. It was like a single father, I think, in the movie, kind of like Tim Allen was.
Right.
Right.
In like the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one, you know how he wasn't. And then you start to realize he's not a good guy.
Okay.
But Santa doesn't realize it at first. Tim
Hmm.
Allen doesn't realize it at first, and now that he retires and this guy becomes Santa, and now Tim Allen has to take it back. Is the whole plot of the thing. Is there a way
cool.
for him to come back because Cal Penn has destroyed Christmas cheer,
Oh
Right.
wow.
and
All right, I kind of like it.
so now they have to figure it out and. They bring back Bernard the Elf for an episode. They bring
Sweet.
back Charlie for an episode.
Yeah.
The only
Oh.
thing I didn't love, and I understand why they had to do it, was they give Santa, Scott Calvin, Tim Allen, a new
Right.
family. Because he needed younger kids for this movie. His other son, Charlie, at this point...
He's like 47 years old.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, he's close to retirement.
Right.
You can't
Why don't
have
he
this-
take over?
Right.
Yeah. Why
Right,
don't the kids
ex-
take over? You know that kid.
But they do. They go into why he didn't take over. and
Oh,
everything,
okay.
And they
Okay.
make it a point to let you know that he doesn't forget that he has another kid or anything like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just, he has a new family with new kids, and
Okay.
they visit him. They don't do it in a way where Santa becomes like a shitty, non-existent father.
Right.
Right,
It,
right.
it wasn't that.
They do him right.
They
We got to
do 'em
find a
right,
family.
yeah.
That makes sense then to continue the story. That
But
has to be
continue
done
the story,
basically.
they need a younger family,
Yeah.
or it won't work. So
Right.
that's the route they go. And then the second season, I'm in the middle of now, and it's still new, so I won't spoil it. But they do seem like there's. The only thing I'll say is, I don't know if you remember in the Game of Thrones. I don't know if anyone
I didn't
watched
watch it.
No.
There was the history of the Game of Thrones. There was the Mad King, and he like goes crazy and he kills everyone.
Okay.
So this season seems to be introducing the concept of a Mad Santa.
Hmm.
And I don't know any of the history of it yet because I haven't gotten that far into it. But he seems like he's an evil, dark Santa that has gnomes instead of elves. It was like the first Santa, and then it changed.
Oh, that could
from
work.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Cool.
haven't gotten too far into it yet. But that I like the shows better than the third movie, and I'm glad they made the show because I do love Tim Allen as Santa.
Definitely.
Nice, good one. This one's from 1988. I thought it was hilarious. This has a series of films. I'm trying to build this up. It's Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yes!
Yeah.
Anything with Ernest.
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah, and like,
Know what I mean, Vern?
yeah. Wow. I remember like in the movie, like from what I recall, it's like he basically is like a taxi driver, and he meets Santa, and then something happens. He has to help
Right.
Santa out. Santa gets in trouble, and Ernest has to save Christmas. But I remember one of the funniest scenes is Ernest, I guess, is telling his kids, or I can't remember exactly, but he has to explain. Because like one of the kids goes, well, what happens if you don't have a fireplace? How does Santa come down?
Right,
And he
yeah,
says, If you have like your radiator, and he like slips through there.
Yeah, yeah.
But the way
That
he
small
explained-
opening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. And like I remember, like he has play money, like Santa's real money. So he has like Monopoly money. It doesn't work.
Right.
But like you said, just like Jim Varney's character and like
Oh, he
that
was so
voice
great.
and like his physical comedy is like so
Outstanding.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and his facial expressions, it's
Yeah.
so good.
You know who reminds me a little bit of
Ernest?
Of Ernest is John Cena. If you look at his face,
Yeah,
he looks like him. He
Yeah.
looks like a beefy Ernest.
I
I almost want them to reboot Ernest with John Cena as a beefy Ernest. Like Ernest
Oh
goes
my
to the
God.
gym or
Right.
some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because he looks just like him.
I can kind of see that. Put
Yeah.
him in the same like that outfit, like
Yeah,
the
the
overalls
same-
or whatever.
yeah,
Freaking
like
wears.
the
What denim? Yeah.
Put him in the same
That's
thing
good.
and just call it like Ernest goes to the gym.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
What about this one? I know I've probably seen it maybe twice. I haven't seen it in a long time. Jingle All the Way. I think Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
movie.
yes!
That's a good one.
I love Arnold, obviously, so
Yeah.
I kind of always favored it. But yeah,
Put
he's
the
going.
cookie down.
Yeah, yeah, he's going for the toy, and he becomes the toy, whatever.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Cheerio,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
What
Thank
I
you.
love the other guys in the movie is I think the underrated comic is Sinbad.
Yes.
He plays like a mailman.
Mailman.
Yeah, like
He's
it's
a
like
mailman.
Nemesis in the movie.
Yes,
They're both trying to get the
that's perfect
toy.
word. His
Yeah,
nemesis.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, right from the start. Right. And then when he finds out, like at the parade, and he's like dressed up as
Yeah.
and like he can't believe it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole thing is just so
yeah,
good.
I think at one point he like somehow Arnold ends up like at like a union meeting of like other Santa Clauses.
Yes.
And then like a big brawl breaks out. You know.
And he's beating everybody up.
Yep. And Phil Hartman's in that too.
Yes, he
Oh
is.
my god, he's amazing.
And he's
also.
like,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
like he's like hitting on his like on Arnold's wife. He's like, hey, I'm just having some cookies. Like, put the cookie down now.
Yeah.
Like, "Ah," you know, like it's so good.
Yeah, I gotta see that
It's a
again.
cute
It's been a
movie.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love.
I think that
though.
movie. I don't know. I felt like it was inspired by like, the craze of like the Power Ranger toys.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
He
so.
had
yeah.
to get that toy,
Yep.
and he was gonna do anything to get that toy. And like,
No, it's a great premise.
Yeah.
It really
Like
is.
you said, every year, like Furby
it's
we
very
had in the past,
relatable.
Tamagotchis in the
Yeah.
past.
I think
You
at one
know.
point he's in the mall. I think does he end up like in a ball pit?
Yes.
Yes.
Arnold,
Yeah,
like, wrestling
yeah.
someone else,
Yes,
and like,
yeah.
uh,
No, it's great. It moves really well.
Yeah.
You know, it's keeps your attention. It's good stuff, man.
yeah.
I think I have a Turbo Man T-shirt somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Turbo Man.
Yeah.
He like flies at the end.
yeah.
You know, but yeah, the movie's
Yeah.
cool, man. I think that's like I think people say it's like the point of his career was getting like little like wacky.
Yeah.
Right.
Junior, and he was going
Yeah.
more the comedy route, but he was good at
But
comedies.
Junior was such a great movie, and so was Twins. I liked all those comedy movies
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
came out with.
But he always found a way to make these movies work, even with
Yeah.
his
Yes.
accent. Like it's amazing. And
Yep.
now I don't even know if it would work as well. Like I'm saying, if someone new came in,
Yeah.
you
He's
know,
no
new
one that could
actor.
do it.
Yeah, he
the
just.
charisma and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about this? This is for PJ too. The Last Action Hero. I feel like you would like that one.
I did like that.
I
I
one.
was
movie.
torn about that, man.
You
Yeah, I
know
was
what?
never like.
As a kid, I haven't watched this in a million years. As a kid, I loved the idea of being able to go into a movie.
Yes. The
Yeah.
premise is
The
great.
premise was great. And I
Exactly.
remember the villain had like the eye.
He was like a
Yeah.
smiley face or
Yeah.
But
something.
then it kind of fell flat, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like the idea too, jumping into the TV.
I
and all
thought that was great, and I always thought it was funny that like Sylvester Stallone was
Yep.
Terminator
Yep.
because
Right.
he couldn't be Terminator because he was Arnold. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I was.
It
That
was a
pretty
goof
funny.
on
Yeah.
real life. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
PJ, what else you got?
So I actually have a modern movie on here. There's two movies that I want to talk about. I'll just do them real quick once before I give up my turn. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Grinch. I think one year on my birthday we went to see the Grinch with Jim
Yep.
Carrey because
Yep.
I
Yep.
love that Jim Carrey movie to this day.
Yes.
I still watch it every year.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
The story of the Grinch, I think, is the epitome of what Christmas is about.
Yes.
Like it
Mhm.
really, Dr. Seuss,
Yeah.
hit a home run.
Yep.
And Jim Carrey was perfect as the Grinch.
Yep.
I mean, the original cartoon is great, but it's short, so it's like
Yeah.
what is that thing, 20 minutes?
hmm
But they really expanded on it and made an entire world out of it with that with the Jim Carrey movie. And I
Yeah.
also like the animated version from a few years ago with Benedict Cumberbatch
Oh,
as
I
the
never
voice.
seen it. Right.
The animation alone. Like take away the plot and
Mm.
watch it on mute if you want. The
Oh, wow.
animation is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that CGI. I don't know if it's Illumination or DreamWorks is one of the two,
right.
but it's super clean, super colorful, vibrant. It really looks like it's dynamite when you look at it.
Right.
But the story is still the Grinch, so it still plays. But the one with Jim Carrey, the live action Grinch, always going to be one of my favorite movies. Just little, what's her, Cindy Lou Who? Like,
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
Mhm.
their noses all kind of like taped up.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
don't
so
know how
cool.
they did that, but then it didn't look fake.
Exactly.
know,
No,
like
I love when
practical
something like that is
effects.
believable. You know what I mean? Look at the
Exactly, very
costume he's wearing,
believable.
but I could believe in this. I feel like this guy really exists somewhere. I can go
Exactly.
find him.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, no.
So I
definitely.
thought that was a great movie.
Yeah, I
but
had
then I
that
have a
down.
more modern animated movie on here called
Oh.
Klaus,
Klaus.
also on
Wow.
Netflix. And essentially, it takes place in I don't know, like the 19th century or something like that, 18th century, a long
Right.
time ago. And the postmaster sends his shitty postmaster son to the North Pole because he's like not a good mailman and he doesn't do a good enough job. So
Yeah.
the postmaster's son gets sent to the North Pole to get through like all the letters to Santa. He has to make sure they all get answered or whatever. And he winds up being there and he meets a toy maker who his name is Klaus.
Mm.
I like that.
and
I like
he's-
that.
Yeah, and he winds up meeting him and they wind up making toys for kids in the village and it just becomes like a heartwarming Christmas film about who is essentially Santa and this post office guy delivering toys to kids in the village who couldn't get toys and they start running out of toys. They have to find a way to make more so they don't disappoint anybody. Again, the animation is fantastic. The cast on that is also top notch. Hold on, let me tell you who's in this. You have Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Rashida Jones, Will Sasso, Norm Macdonald has a role in there.
All right,
Joan
there's a lineup
Cusack.
for you.
Right.
So tons of big name people doing voices of characters in there, and well acted, beautifully animated, and a really charming story. So it's on Netflix. If you get a chance to watch it, you should.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting loaded with movies I have to see now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do we want to start a lightning round or?
We can do a lightning round. I mean, if there's any quick ones you want to.
Yeah.
Go
So, because I have a couple of ramble off. So,
yeah.
I never really loved these films. They were always on TV. Actually, one I do really like a lot. But I know it's not perfect. Prancer.
Never saw it.
Yeah, I remember. We used to
Oh,
watch
wait a minute.
that in
Yes, we
school
did.
all the time.
Yes,
Yep, it
yes.
was always
it's
on school.
Too
Yeah.
hokey pokey,
Yeah,
like
it's
boring,
cheesy. Yeah, it's
dry.
slow. But I like the
Yeah.
premise of I love the premise of this girl gets an injured reindeer.
Yeah.
And she has to
I
help him
remember
out.
that shit because we watched that in music
Yep.
every friggin' year with Mr. Gita.
Gita,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, used to play
Mr.
it all the time.
Snuffleupagus came out.
Mr. Snuffleupagus came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that also, with that movie, it made me believe somewhat in the reindeer premise.
Yes.
That's the only thing I kind of got out of it. Like,
Yeah.
reindeers might exist. This is what it might look like, you know, in real life.
Mhm.
But yeah.
No, Mr. Papadopoulos.
Oh
it.
yeah, that's it. Wow,
Snuffleupagus
excuse me.
was,
Right.
Snuffleupagus was
From
Sesame Street.
Wow.
Mr. Papadopoulos was the
Good job.
koala bear.
You're
puppet.
right. I
Right.
stand
Mhm.
corrected. Yeah.
Another movie from the 90s. I remember I liked the first 20 minutes. I remember just being I think it's really more of a girl Christmas movie. Is A Mom for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's with
Olivia Newton-John.
yes.
Yeah, I
And,
used to
like,
watch
I've
her.
never seen that.
She was,
It's
she was
like
pretty
this-
to me, so I watched
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, but
exactly.
I don't even know
That's
much.
exactly
of
why I watched it.
She'd be like a mannequin or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
basically, she this girl I guess lost her mom, and then she wants a mom for Christmas. So this, I guess she always looks at this one mannequin that she thought was very beautiful, or reminded her of her mother. So this mannequin comes to life. You know, I guess there's some kind of. I haven't seen it in decades, but I'm assuming I guess she runs out of time and she has to fall in love. I don't know, but that. I'm pretty sure that's the movie that has that song. I can believe that is magic.
Right. Yeah.
And then guys, I have to mention these not because. Okay. Let me start with this one. So these are Netflix Christmas films. Okay.
Oh God.
This one is
Yeah.
not.
This could be red
Not-
flagged.
Yep. So this one, I recommend if you're if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, watch it. It's called Love Hard. It's basically it's this guy goes on this guy has no luck with dating sites or whatever online dating, and he basically does a catfish where he does a different profile, right? And the girl actually comes to his town, and she goes to meet him. He thinks she's gonna be this Australian good-looking guy. He's actually this short Asian dude. His name I think the comedian's Jimmy O Yang or something like that. Funny guy. So the rest of the movie, she's disappointed, but he helps her actually try to win the guy's heart that he pretended to be. But it's not a perfect film. I think it's worth watching.
Sounds a little bit like a Hallmark Christmas movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But the part of
But
it.
it's somewhat grabbing my interest right
yes.
now.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
not a bad movie. Definitely not a bad
Yeah.
movie. It's worth the watch. Like PJ perfectly said, it's a Hallmark. It's probably a little bit better than that in terms of quality. But there's one part, guys. Just get ready to hold on, put your bucket to sea, because there's one part that's very cringe.
Oh God.
Woo! They sing they say the song that goes "Oh baby, it's cold outside."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they say the song's super creepy. So they end up
Oh no.
doing their own version in
Oh,
the movie
no.
where they go this song's super. Let's do it our version. So they re
Bleh.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's so cringe. I'm like,
This is when I
ah.
turn it off.
But
I
if you can
guess.
get past that part, you will. But just have your barf bag.
Right.
But I know I talked about this once before, PJ, on a past episode about some of the worst movies you've ever seen. If you want to see the worst Christmas movie of all time,
Oh,
it's
no.
on Netflix. It's called The Happiest Season. More like the shittiest season.
And the shittiest movie.
Oh my God, it's unbearable. And unfortunately, it actually has a good premise. I'll do it real quick, the synopsis. So it's actually Kristen Stewart is in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to her, but she can't
Wait,
act anymore.
Kristen
Kristen Stewart, the girl from
That's the
Twilight.
Twilight girl?
She already had her Twilight moment.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
The blonde in it is from Blade Runner, not Anna de Amaris, whatever her name is. She
Okay.
was she was in the new Terminator. She was the new female Terminator, but she's the hero one.
Yeah, yeah.
She's kind
Blonde?
of more butch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Anyway, so this movie was about, and I like this premise of an idea. I like the idea. It kind of rhymes with the birdcage. So the girl from Terminator,
Right.
she hasn't came out to her family that she's a lesbian, right? So she decides to her girlfriend is Kristen Stewart, but she hasn't told her family she's a lesbian yet. So, but she wants to bring her there to Christmas,
Right.
to like meet her and then eventually kind of share it. So
Right.
it actually sounds like it would be a good thing because as a comedy, you can have her fake her being straight,
Right.
and her other from like, oh, I'm here just her best
Okay.
friend,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, it's so the acting is horrible. Kristen Stewart is awful in
Yeah.
it. They sell it as a comedy. There's nothing to laugh about it. There's no-
Yeah.
I had to watch it with my wife. You know, oh
God, did she
Man.
love it?
no.
She didn't laugh?
No.
Oh, okay. That was
No.
really bad.
She,
Was
of
there
course,
a
her
choice?
pick.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Oh, good. So she
Yeah.
didn't like it either.
Because,
So
you know, I
you
made
can't get
her-
in trouble for
right,
it,
I
like
was
making
trying
her
to
watch
make
it.
her
You know what I
watch
mean?
something else. I forgot what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
But,
So now she owes you a movie. You know,
Right,
like,
but
yeah.
but man, that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was terrible,
Damn, yeah, well.
terrible. Clayton's in it. Clara Clayton's in it.
Oh God.
I can't think of.
No,
her
I
name
love
from
her
Back to the
though.
Future.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Woo, man, that movie is
I can't
terrible.
even
So
name-
it's unfortunate because you could have made a funny this.
Yeah,
premise
yeah.
on the other kind.
They had it right there.
right, but man,
Dumb.
no execution.
Wow.
But anyway, those are my rapid fires. Mhm.
Nice. I'll do a rapid fire real quick. I'll be
Yeah.
fast. Because then I have two questions about two movies for you guys.
Oh,
So I only seen this like maybe twice. Jack Frost.
oh, I like
Oh,
that
I
movie.
like
yeah.
that movie. That's
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Michael Keaton, so I definitely favor certain movies you guys are in. But
Yeah.
I'll say if it was bad or I hated it. I liked it. I thought it was
No, I
a,
like
again.
that
I
movie,
love
That's a good movie.
somewhat of the magic of it, the idea of it, sentimental, it's
Yeah.
sad,
Yep.
Yeah.
but loving. Yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for all that stuff,
But-
especially this time of year.
But,
But
it's- that movie's good, man.
and almost
That
like a little
is a good
creepy
movie.
too. Like I remember first scene, I was like slightly creeped out by the snowman for a minute.
Yep.
But yeah, just so awesome. Obviously, National Lampoons. I think we mentioned that.
Oh,
Yeah, how did we
Christmas,
not like
yeah,
that?
I think people would kill us if we didn't mention this. You know,
Yeah.
obviously Christmas Vacation, we know all about that.
Oh,
So what about this? Do you guys like this movie, A Christmas Story?
I like it. I don't love it, but I
So-
like
I
it.
might have seen it again once. I think that's the last
So,
time I ever
like,
want to see
the
it.
like, look, the thing with that movie is that they play it so much,
Yeah.
you can't.
I never
help but
watch it,
not
though.
watch it. Like you don't. You actively have to avoid it now because
I feel like
it's
so
on
long. Is it long?
It is,
I
feels like
I
it's
think I've
very
seen it
long.
one time and I can't watch it
Yeah.
anymore.
I,
So I just had to ask
I
about
don't
that.
hate it.
Yeah.
I just don't watch it anymore because I've seen it so many times. It is very long. They play it on loop. I think it's like on TNT.
Yep.
It's like a marathon. It's just back to back to
Yes.
back to back. After a while, it gets kind of like
Yeah, I just know
played
like the
out.
lamp. I know the lamp from the movie.
Yeah.
The BB
Yeah.
gun. That's all I kind of
Right.
really like about it.
There was a spiritual successor to that film. It was like a sequel, but it doesn't take place during Christmas. I forgot the name of the movie, but it's in the movie. All I remember, maybe in the comments, someone can help us out. But like, same like narrator type thing. But he has like a battle with these tops with like a rope. You know what I'm talking about? And they battle, and all of a sudden these two tops are
No.
battling.
Yes.
They
Yes.
do like a best out of 7,
Right.
and then eventually like they fight on the streets with
Yes.
these two spinning tops, and
Yep.
they go into the sewer drains. You'll never know who actually
Yes.
won. But and it was like okay.
Yeah. No.
but-
That's. I know what you're talking
They
about.
made
I
us-
know what you're talking about.
And
That.
they made another sequel on HBO Max last year.
Yes.
Where they come back and they're grown ups.
Yes. Right.
And it's like the father's
remember
dead
that.
or whatever, and like it's
I
their
think it
first
flopped.
Christmas without him.
Did
It's
it?
actually not a terrible movie. I think it flopped also because people didn't want a sequel to it.
Yeah.
But it was
right.
actually
True.
better than I expected it to be.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about this one? So it took me forever to see this movie because I didn't like this actor for a long time. His
know you did.
comedy. But then I have something for him now after I saw Zoolander. So there's a hint.
Yep.
It's Elf.
Yep.
I love
Now
Elf.
I saw it once. I did like it. I was actually surprised I liked it. You know, he's kind of a goofball. At a certain point, I kind of get tired of him like almost overacting the
Right.
elf situation. So I
Yeah.
kind of got like, all right, I think I had enough now. But I do like the idea of it. I can't though watch it again, and that's how I know when I don't like a movie when I don't even want to go near it again. Maybe here and there if it's on TV, jump in the middle of it.
Right.
But yeah. So
I
I, want to
think
see
it's
you
very
take it. Most
funny.
people love it. I'm almost weird for
Yeah,
not loving it.
I love it. I
But
think
that's the
it's
truth.
hysterical.
But I like it. But I
Mhm.
can't watch it over and over. It's not in my staple of movies every
Yeah,
year.
that was actually on my list to forget to talk about, but yeah, that's a good one.
Cool.
When he calls that guy the angry elf, and it's I can't think of it. Dinklage is an angry elf.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's great lines,
Yeah.
tons of memes because of
Yeah.
I know him,
I know
all that
him.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah,
This
but
place has the best coffee. There's a sign that says like best coffee.
yeah,
That's-
exactly.
that's
Those
a
are
good
good. That's
one.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
I think that's peak Will Ferrell. So if you're not a huge Will Ferrell fan, though, it's
Yeah.
tough for people to get into that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like his style of acting and his style of humor,
You're like
that
I didn't like him
movie's
before that, right? Yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
movie will fall flat.
Yeah.
On my rapid fire list, I actually have I have 4 movies. some of them though aren't necessarily Christmas movies. That's why I made them my rapid fire. They just people consider them. So Die Hard.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I consider it a Christmas movie. I
was
watch
going to
it on
ask
the
you. I was
Christmas
going to
season.
ask you guys a question at the end. It was like, do you consider it a Christmas movie or not?
I do, even though it's not a Christmas type movie. It takes place on Christmas. I count it.
So do I. Same thing.
Batman Returns.
Wow.
Because
That's
that starts off with the tree lighting.
Yeah.
In there. And Edward Scissorhands is like a holiday movie. I think they celebrate Christmas in the movie, but it takes place in the winter. It still has a lot of that goodwill.
Yeah, that
towards
cold
other
chill
people.
too. Yeah.
It has a lot of that. It's got.
I would agree with that. I love
Yeah.
that movie too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then one other holiday movie that I put on here that I don't watch every year, but when it's one of those things where if I catch it on TV, I won't turn it off.
Right.
It's not a Christmas movie. It's a Hanukkah movie. 8 Crazy Nights, the Adam
Oh,
Sandler cartoon.
yeah.
Never
I
saw
don't
it.
watch it every year, but if I catch it on TV, I will leave it on.
Mm-hmm.
There are not many Hanukkah movies out there, really, when you think about it. And Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights is probably at the top of the list of Hanukkah-inspired movies. So, and I think it's pretty entertaining when I do watch it.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah. Good choice. I get it.
So, PJ, you kind of slightly stole my thunder about is Die Hard a Christmas movies, but I had a backup just in case.
Okay.
Oh wow. Smart
Okay,
man.
So, guys, is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas film? Okay.
Wow.
I
for
think it
Halloween.
is. I think it's both Christmas and Halloween. I think it works for both of those holidays equally.
I'm not just trying to agree to agree. I agree.
I agree, too.
You can watch
Yeah.
it both times.
Yeah,
It kind of just
works
fits.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
it
have your
works.
tree up and watch it, you're good. If you have your Halloween decorations up and watch
still
it, you're
good.
good.
Yep.
You know, you can buy into it both ways, which is amazing on their part to do
Yeah.
that. And yeah, definitely, that's a
And
yes.
I haven't seen this myself, but in Disneyland, around Christmas time, right before Christmas, they shut down Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
And they re-theme it with Nightmare Before Christmas for the holidays. I haven't gotten
That must be
to-
pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't
yeah.
gotten to the park during that time of the year to see it. So they only do it in California. They don't do it in Disney World in Florida because there's just too many people there all the time. And
Right.
if you shut down Haunted Mansion in Disney
Yeah.
World, and people riot. There's just too many people there to close it for that long
Yeah.
every year. But I do want to get to California to see the re-theme of it.
Yeah. And you just reminded me, too, because to compare it to Universal, Universal has The Grinch come out.
Yes.
Ever since Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that character. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
watching videos like they.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they hire a comedian. They just
Yeah.
they
Yeah, he
give
does
him
a
a lot
great
of money.
job.
And the guy, whoever they have in those things, those costumes, they're
They're
awesome.
excellent.
Yeah.
Oh
They-
yeah.
the improvisation, they know the lines, and
Have you
They're
been
quick.
to Universal?
And you have the
for
ride
Christmas?
there in the set.
no.
If you go to Universal during Christmas, they just like Disney, they decorate it for Christmas. But the Dr. Seuss thing looks so great during Christmas time because it's very Grinch inspired. But it looks like all the Dr. Seuss books have the same look to them.
Yep.
And that part of the park looks
Yep.
like it's straight out of there, but now it's
Yep.
that decorated for Christmas. It looks
That's
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I think he pulled a prank one year, the Grinch. I don't think they do every year when they do the tree lighting. It doesn't.
Yeah.
it doesn't light.
No way.
They go 3, 2, 1.
Dude, that's freaking
and it doesn't light,
fantastic.
it doesn't light. It just starts or like a bulb. They have like a
Yeah.
spark come out. You know?
Dude, that's great. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I hope they did that. Yeah, that's
something
cool.
like that. But great stuff. So yeah, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you're shopping and spending money and in the holiday spirit, just like us.
Oh yeah, those are great times.
And if you're looking for a Christmas gift for the loved one in your life who really loves superheroes, you should come down to 2055 Hempstead Turnpike in East Meadow to Cool Kids Comics and Toys. We have superhero toys, we have Barbies, we have Funko Pops. Buy your loved one a comic book for the Christmas holiday. We hope to see you in the store real soon.
Yep. All right, folks, and thanks Rob for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm having a blast every time.
Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Same time, same table.
Merry Christmas.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. Please visit PJ and Mike's website, coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com for more information. Follow the boys on all social media apps. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.